There we are, playing my air guitar on the way in there. Welcome, one and all, to yet another IPSA Kind of Magic, the show that talks to you about IPSA, which is of course, the Independent Personal Search Agents, the association thereof, and Hamish is the current chairman. We've got two stalwart members of this association, Barty Boover and, of course, Sharon Whitney, both of Whitefield Legal Services. Lovely to have you both here. And, of course, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to today's topic. Today's topic is personalized care versus compulsory monetized services. Now, I know nothing about nothing, so I'm going to pass control over to my esteemed fellow friend and mentor, Hamish McLay.
Well, one of the great things about a starting time of 1 p.m. or as close to as we can manage with the technology that I'm incapable of controlling, is the fact it's an afternoon. So good afternoon to everybody. I don't confuse it with the morning because 12 a.m. of course it's a bit too close to morning for one to realize. Hopefully there's a few more of you here because it is lunchtime for many more people. And today's topic is brought about. In fact, it was Sharon who joined us today, which is great. It was one of her comments. I should say it wasn't exactly a comment. It was one of her postings on LinkedIn, which suggested to me that this was a particularly good title. It was also the title or something which came up during our conference 2 weeks ago. So for all of you IPSA members here who managed to get to that meeting, absolutely great. You'll remember this subject being brought up. For those of you who didn't get there, it's a topic which you would have missed from the conversation, but is very, very important to us. And the extended we do have the full title. It's personalized care versus compulsory monetized services. But the continuum is which is best for the clients. Now, one of the great things about IPSA members, they will always do what is best for the clients rather than what is best for us necessarily, although sometimes we think, oh dear, why ever did they ask us that? However, you'll very rarely come across an IPSA member that will turn and say, well, can't do that. Because if they can't do it, they'll find somebody with an IPSA who can. So it's really about this subject. It's the care for our clients. It's very, very important. And particularly, Whitefield are exceptionally good at it. And we see it sort of all the time. And of course, to me, I find it great because I can pick the phone up and speak to either Bartley or Sharon and say, what can you tell me about so-and-so? And particularly their area, London, is what their knowledge is about London is absolutely great. But there's some stuff what's going on at Whitefield, which many of us would like, that the rest of us would like to be following actually as IPSA members. Anyway, I think probably let's get over to Barty and sort of Sharon, and because they can actually talk us through what it is they were doing that brought my attention to the whole thing.
Barty and Sharon, very great welcome to you both. So what say you on today's topic?
I think in relation to commercial searches, we get a lot of inquiries for commercial properties because we deal with both. But I think if you're offering a commercial product pack, you need to know your suppliers, what their reports include, and what is most applicable to that transaction. Because we've seen something come to the market with Martello, which is no change of use, small commercial, so wonderful. And then we actually get developments. Just late last year, we had a college with areas of land being redeveloped, and you're like, well, what's the best report for that? Is there going to be a change of use? So, we keep going on at IPSA, and all independent search agents say one size does not fit all on commercial. So it's understanding your client's needs, not just saying, oh, order this product, that's the best, because how do you know it's the best? What if there's no development, if there's redevelopment? And then you don't want to guide a client and say, oh, get this report, and then come back and they say, oh, we need something more. Let's get them all at the beginning and let's get this transaction moving. So that's what we find for all of our suppliers. Being independent, we look to all the environmental providers and some of the not well-known ones, which I think deserve a mention of independent utility companies, what's going on the land to be developed. So Barty and I have established relationships with as many as we can, collaborating with as many as we can to bring that service to our clients.
Barty, I see you nodding away there. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, what Sharon said, it just hits the nail on the head, really, because products are, commercial products are so wide, and you need to get the right product for the right development or shop or whatever it is. You can't just have just one report fit everything. So Sharon has become quite expert on that now, dealing with those products where the clients, because she's dealing with clients, she knows she goes into great details about what that actually search is all about before even we order the product. So you need to know, like what she said, is if it's a land, what do we need on that one? It can be anything in that land. You get general landfill and mining and such reports, but there's so much more to it than just that.
Yeah, and all the account managers that obviously support our IPSA conferences, they're always there at the end of the phone to help us. So it's a big team collaboration effort, really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, in respect to the actual topic on today, which is personalised care, which obviously is preferable to compulsory monetised services. Now, is that alluding to the fact that there have been very much a one-size-fits-all that seems to have
generally had been, wasn't it? One size fits all. Just give them commercial report. It's a tick box exercises, but it isn't. We go in quite in depth with the commercial reports now. And
Right.
especially Sharon does now, because she really knows the stuff really well. And like she said, we work with collaboration with all the agencies that we are. We don't tick the box on the report from Order Enviro. No, we ring them up and ask them which would be the best one to go.
And that's what our clients ask us. If they're sitting there looking at an ordering platform, how do they know which one to order? They need to pick up the phone and talk to someone with the knowledge, because they've probably got a choice of 5 or 6 products, and are they going to get the knowledge from other search providers?
Okay. Well, look, Hamish, I know that you've been in the game for quite some time, and this can't have been a sudden change now, surely.
We have seen a couple of sudden changes. I should add to this, Barty's been doing it for longer than me. And remember, she was one of those poacher gamekeeper types, because she started.
Yes. I never try and allude to a lady's age. So I'm being careful.
Nothing to do with age. It was some of the things she was getting up to in her youthfulness. What a thing!
I love it.
There are a couple of items here, and there have been changes. What has actually happened over a time period? There are, and this was alluded to again within our conference. One of our great speakers there, Silas Lees, who does actually sort of join us on some of our podcast. They said there's two ways of actually going about things, and basically what you can actually do is do the slam down one suits, or we can actually go down the route. Now the trouble is, when something goes down the factory route, which is the majority of what our corporate providers actually, there isn't time in terms of, if you like, the profile in terms of the way that they do things, because of the numbers. They're a numbers game. Let's get a heck of a lot of searches done as quick as we can, which is great for some of them, but not for all, as we've actually sort of found out. Now, what has become much more interesting is what is going on in the commercial field, because people on the commercial side of the business, bear in mind, the majority of IPSA's work in the past have been predominantly actually on residential. But now we've started, again, with the help of our providers through this collaboration, we can now start working with people to provide a more than adequate commercial sort of response. And as Sharon's alluded to, when Bartley was actually sort of saying that Sharon is going that much deeper into it, because at the end of the day, we want to support our clients. We want to do what's best for our clients. And I just want to mention briefly, because this subject really covers absolutely everything. We are client focused. IPSA members are client focused. And what has actually sort of come about, and this is a topic which, again, one doesn't know about it, unless you've actually sort of been a little bit close to the coalface, because we have found that there are actually IPSA members who are losing out in terms of searches that they were providing, because there are factory type providers who are saying to people, hey, look, if you don't actually buy all of your searches from us, we're going to increase prices.
Mm-hmm.
So they're imposing a financial burden upon these providers. Now, in real terms, I don't know whether it's illegal or not. However, it's in the best interest of the clients. And one of the best ones we can actually sort of speak about, and again, this is where Sharon and Bartley have been on before and shown us the great advantage here. You can get searches back quicker by working with somebody who has a good working relationship with the local council.
Mm.
Do have that, and they've demonstrated that. So it's in the best interest of a client if somebody can get a search back to you within a fortnight, and somebody else has told you 6 weeks, because it's monetized, because they are making more money out of that. This is why I want to look at the two of them together. The commercial one is even more important because there's more at stake, and it's a much wider brief. But residential is still important. Why is the client buying that property? The solicitor, the conveyancer will know why they're buying it. So they will know. They can point you in the direction. And if they're not 100% sure, we can give that solicitor, we can give that lawyer the feedback and sort of say to them, right, do tell us, is it going to be this? Is it going to be for that? Because we've got, again, and like Sharon mentioned earlier, straightforward enough, if somebody's buying a flat above a shop, it may well be that somebody's buying that shop underneath to turn it back to residential. So it's not just a conventional search. Is there something saying about that particular property that you can't actually turn it back to residential? So you might want to delve a little bit deeper. So it's looking deeper into what needs to be done and having time to do it. That's an important thing.
Barty, Sharon, it seems to me, and this is me with my not really knowing anything about the topic at all, learning it at the feet of the masters here, but it would, if you're knowing that much more knowledge and have to digging that much deeper and giving a much wider brief than you would do if you just taken it should take more time, not less time. I don't understand it, how you guys are able to cut the time period by which information is provided radically sometimes. I don't understand it, yet you're providing more. The equation doesn't make sense to me. You're providing more information in less time. How does that work?
Well, if you have a good relationship with all the people that you're working around, it is very easy. All you need to do is pick up the phone, ask the question, and they will direct you to the right information.
You're making it sound far too simple.
The thing is that the lawyers don't have time, right? That's why we're doing the searches for them.
Yes, but ones who don't bother doing what you're doing.
The thing is, this is the beauty about the small businesses like ourselves. If you go to the corporate, are they going to ring up then saying what? No, they haven't got time. They're just so busy with the search. We have the time, and we want the best for their clients, for our clients, if you know what I mean.
But you're getting back to the client in a weeks or less than that, and the lawyer would be just getting his second cup of coffee by that stage.
Yeah, well, that's why they're with us for 20 years.
Oh, brilliant!
Right? Yeah. Otherwise, they would have gone somewhere else.
Yes, I know, but it just seems crazy that
it is crazy because
in so many ways. No, I know you guys are doing great work, and Hamish and the rest of the teams out there are doing great work, but there are loads of searches that are not undertaken through IPSA members, and I think they should be, because they're missing out, if only on the time quotient.
Yeah.
Look, I'm pleased to have been introduced to the whole business of it, but I'm only learning through you people. All I can say is it seems that good relationships, better intentions, higher focus produces better results in a shorter time. Crazy stuff. Hamish, would you care to take us home?
Indeed, no, it was just great to see that post from Sharon. So speaking about it, because utility searches aren't something that we would tend to work in terms of a residential property. With commercial, yes, but we're starting to expand. This shows all the time we are expanding our relationship into the marketplace to acquire the right sort of information from the right people to support our particular sort of clients. And therefore, we enable our clients, our direct clients, our solicitor clients, who are the people we work with mostly, to put it fairly, we're dealing with solicitors mostly, and we like dealing with property solicitors, property lawyers, because we know we can support them. And because of that, we are able to get them more accurate information, more precise information. We refine certain information received not from the experts. The utilities guys are utilities. The environmental. The local authority are, as we know, there are so many people switch, and big push by our current government. They want more unitary authorities, more councils coming together, loss of experience in there. Whereas our members of IPSA, if you like, they have had the experience with the individual councils all throughout the year. So they will know much more about a local council than some of those who are now in charge. Some of the land charges officers, we haven't asked actually why she isn't a land charges officer any longer, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. It's the opportunity to work with, in our collaborative sort of method, able to work with people like Barty and Sharon, able to work with so many other members. And hopefully we'll get a few more on here, and they can tell us about their experiences and what makes them particularly sort of good as well. But the great thing is, we are a team. We are cooperative. We actually work together to achieve what is best for the clients.
I have to say, the one thing that seems to have come through, having attended one of your annual meetings and seen for myself and met people, is the way in which there doesn't have that feeling of people worried about butting into each other's areas. That they're quite happy to support each other in an overall goal. You are acting as a cooperative. You're working together to the benefit of each other, surely, but also to the benefit of the client. And I think that's a quality often missed in modern estate agents, etc. Working for the benefit of the client, they get a faster response, they get more in-depth analysis, they can make better decisions and get better outcomes. Thank you once again, Hamish McLay, for putting this thing together. And I'm told that more and more property lawyers are watching this. So I had a couple of them approach me only yesterday afternoon saying they were looking forward to the next one. So there you go. Barta, of course, and Sharon, more experts on the topic, having worked both sides of the coin, and to your benefit. And to you watching, whether you be an IPSA member or not, thank you very much for supporting us. There's a lot more to be said. We're here every week. And try and keep your feet on the ground. Reach for the stars. Look after that mental health. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.